for the team fights.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure what the answer here was going to be from Fnatic, because Mickey was hovering the Bard, and if you change over to the Bard, I feel like it changes a lot of the identity that Fnatic had here, because
Quadrants, you're going to see Elyoya take a quick back after that first 3-camp clear just to pick up the additional longsword for the extra clearing power, as Jojo and Poby trade back and forth here in the mid lane. Jojo with the aggressive flash, though, forcing out the response flash from Poby. Only a slow on the Rune Prison, not a stun against Jojo, waiting for the minions to at least push up as far as they can so they don't see him early. Jojo without that flash from Razork into the point and click stun. It's done. First blood. Especially if he hits an early level 6, you catch somebody off guard with an early ultimate. But now it's Imkoi invading the jungle. Razork trying to clear his blue buff here, as now it's a flash engage. Razork, remember, he already used his flash to make the play earlier, but now Jojo gets his revenge. There from Fnatic, just to keep an eye on it, just to make sure they're not going to try to sneak that one away after seeing Razork show up down here. But instead, it's the mid lane. That's your target. Beautifully done from Elyoya and Alvaro to set it up for Jojo to knock it down. Kill number 2 for the Rise, as Mickey X wanted to try to get something back here right now. And Jojo and Elyoya have plenty of damage to be able to secure this first objective. So that one's done. And
yeah, Fnatic really want to try and break this, but Imkoi in a good spot will push mid and top, and they're going to start up the objective. At least get one. Looks like they don't want to contest for more.
First grub already secured there with the smite, and now they're going to go in. Supreme display of talent onto Mickey. He's already down. Feet of Warfare claimed by Imkoi. Razork wants to get away, but here comes the Realm Warp to seal his fate. He'll warp straight into the grave. It's a double kill.
Joining the fight, and in a 3v4, Imkoi take down Fnatic.
This is a rough game state here for Fnatic now. Hex flash over the wall, though, from Mickey. Here comes your Grand Starfall from Razork. Supa's gonna die for sure. Shut down for Razork means Fnatic at least gets something back there to staunch the bleeding.
Yeah, still, the kill going to Razork isn't ideal. They would have liked to have given that to Oscar to try and have something, but Mickey gone too far forward.
Yeah, Mickey very far forward into enemy territory. The Alistar's got to be careful here. Elyoya does a lot of damage on this Kiana. Oscar returning a little bit of fire, just trying to create an escape route here for his support. But now Oscar locked down. Jojo cannot arrive in time, however. No flash available on that Rise to try to get in there for the extra damage. Mickey down to 58. Double stacked wave into the turret here, into the tier 1. Wants to get this first plate. Does a lot of damage to Oscar, but now got to be a little bit careful. Here's public execution. Jojo taking a ton of damage from the initial Ambessa burst. Teleport coming in to try to save Jojo, but he cannot stay alive long enough. Nice pickup there from Fnatic.
And a much needed pickup.
Teleport available to join the bot side fight, so it is just going to be a 4v4 unless you can try to get Sion out of the lane and use the ulti, but no, the Dragon is already secured, and considering Elyoya and Alvaro both have the ability to just exit safely through the back of the pit. However, Supa dropping the lightning crash there versus Upset. Does not want to take any more of the fight, though, considering Mickey was nearby, would be able to turn that into an unfair fight very quickly.
Yeah, this is great start, though, from Imkoi. 2 dragons to their name, already with a gold lead, and there just doesn't really seem to be a way for Fnatic to break this. You now are so far behind, it just makes it difficult, and in the goal difference you can see at the bottom of your screen, whoever got the gold lead fairly much went at the game. Razork, can you try and change that?
Yeah, he wants to try to alleviate some of that gold lead, but the Grand Starfall just ends up resulting in a whole lot of nothing. So Pantheon ulti ending up being a whiff.
But Pantheon and Ambessa is that setup, but Mickey wants to be that setup.
Yeah, Mickey trying to set it up for the Cassiopeia. Gets trapped in the Rune Prison here as Jojo wants to buy a little time with the phase rush. Elyoya's coming around from the side. Jojo wanted to use the Realm Warp to get away, but he's trapped in the Petrifying Gaze. Redemption coming down, but Jojo is already dead. Elyoya cannot arrive in time. Nicely first to the scene. They've got it down to about half HP already. Oscar in here off to the side. Elyoya looking to distract him, as now Imkoi wants to move forward. Fnatic all grouped up around the pit. Alvaro going in here with a quickness, as immediately Razork going to lose about half HP, but now Alvaro is all trapped up. It's the first kill going over to Fnatic. Razork still low, but he ain't dead yet. Supreme display of talent, gonna find multiple targets here, but everybody on Fnatic still hanging on for now. Finally, Razork is going to die. Upset and Poby still staying alive for now as Oscar is down to 200 HP. Imkoi are cutting off the escapes, and they are cutting off the hopes of Fnatic. Upset and Mickey trying to get themselves away back through the tribe rush. Elyoya and Jojo on the chase. Mickey with the flash of the wall, but Supa is ready to tumble right after him. Upset, the last man standing. He's gonna summon up the Herald to try to get away. Maybe try to take the taxi home. A little bit more damage might just be able to stop him, but no. Upset will use the Herald to be the only man on Fnatic who survived.
But that was supposed to be the only silver lining for them, and it's Upset who has to use it to escape. Imkoi played that fight so incredibly well, but Razork finds Elyoya.
Yeah, Elyoya sticking around a little bit too long, perhaps. Dodges the Comet Spear there. Did not want to find himself hit by that one. Could have been a potential execution. as he does escape through the invisibility. That is Pantheon ulti down again. And there's what I was talking about. The gold lead now, the largest it's been all game, up to almost 3,500 as the Herald makes a very long walk back down the top lane. And this could be a very long journey back to the fountain, although it might actually be for Imkoi as Fnatic is ready to try to punish this invade. Alvaro first to die as Mirwin now locked up by the Blade Caller, and it looks like he's got nowhere to go but a gray screen. Does try to pop the ulti there, is interrupted by Mickey X, and Fnatic continue the chase after the Scion. He's pretty tanky, but surely they're able to catch up to him here. Decimating Smash to try to make a little bit of extra distance, but no, it's Headbutt Pulverize, and with a shutdown going over to Upset, that's exactly what Fnatic was hoping for.
Imkoi just tossed that gold lead out the window. The fact that you managed to get all those kills in the jungle, and you're going to get that top tower, plus you're getting set up for the dragon now that's about to spawn. That was halving their gold lead just immediately off a bad play.
Oh, but the lightning crash, it's going to be Mickey X the target now as Razork immediately gives his life over right next to it. Fnatic, they get an amazing punish. They force Imkoi into a bad spot after Imkoi wanted to get more soul stacking. Instead, is just one step closer to Imkoi, securing a very early soul.
Lars, what in the name of God is going on?
This is a bit of a crazy game, my friend. We've got 18 kills in 18 minutes, but
they're now getting access to this bottom side and starting to crack open the turrets in their favor. And with Jojo having this lead, he is now in a
4 stacks on his Rod of Ages, fully charged Seraph's Embrace. Over on the other side, it is 8 stacks for Jojo's Rise on his Roa, as Elyoya with a supreme display of talent right back into the wall. Razork thought he was fighting for a red buff. He was fighting for his life, and he'll lose that. Take down the remaining tier 1 turret from Fnatic. Pick a couple of flower petals along the way. They'll place him on the grave of Razork. You want to pick and choose, but it's really jungle and AD carry where the 2 largest advantages find themselves. Elyoya sidestepping out of the way of the public execution, and with Ambessa not able to join up, that just means Mickey is alone. That has been for us in the LTA throughout the year, which is if he survives until 21 minutes without somebody trying to attack him, it's pretty surprising.
Which is kind of rude if you think about it. You know?
He's just not welcome on the Fnatic to try to challenge, so it ends up being a free objective for the Imkoi side. 31 petals to 13 is a ton of extra adaptive force, about 1,500 gold's worth, as Mickey has to flash over the wall just to escape another death at the hands of the supreme display of talent. But the problem is, Dagda, that's another flash used defensively from the Alistar. That's your main engage. Flash, headbutt, pulverize, and now you don't have it. Jojo just sidestepping around Razork, takes him down to about 1/3 HP in the bot side river. Jojo just kind of potentially playing the bait here in the mid lane. Does have his Seraphs and Rod fully charged, fully stacked. Still 2 stacks to go on the Rod of Ages for Poby. And this is what I was talking about earlier, the difference in completing that in time. Razor going for the flash engage there onto Supa, who makes the distance and gets away. Supreme display of talent, not going to get a whole lot, but Alvaro's got the quickness to start the fight off in earnest as Oscar's already down. Mickey's struck alone in the backside of the enemy lines as Poby's going to be melted by Elyoya. Razor can't stand any longer either, and Fnatic fall to pieces again. It's only Upset left alive. Try as he might, he can't win the fight. Fnatic are going to find themselves aced before the Dragon Soul.
When it comes to the gold, even if you're not getting full value from the ultis, Alvaro sets up that engage, sets up the turnaround, and Imkoi sweep.
2% chance because otherwise it's a 1, right? And now
where does
Oscar
health bar go?
Yeah, I don't think this Ambessa is long for this world. That is not Ambessa from Arcane, my friend. That one is, that one's out of here.
Well, to be fair, Arcane didn't go too well for her either. You know,
okay, all right, you got me there. Sorry for anybody who hasn't watched it yet. I guess that liar, but you can see on your screen right now, it only takes Elyoya and Supa to kill the Baron off. Mirwin and Jojo can just cover these flanks, make sure nobody from Fnatic can approach.
Everything else is so in favor of Imkoi. I just don't think you have a chance, but here we go. One more play. Can Fnatic do it?
Well, there's already a ward right where the unsealed teleport was coming in from Mickey. Jojo flashes to the other side, but Mickey's ready to flash after him. Alvaro coming in to cover for his mid laner as Jojo is still alive now. Fnatic continue trying to press the assault, but now Mirwin is charging in from behind. A supreme display of talent right back into the wall. Fnatic tried, Fnatic died. There's no way to stop Imkoi now. Oscar Rinnan's the only one standing. It's a double kill for Elyoya there. An ace apiece to end the game 24-7 with an 18,000 gold lead. What'll be a 20,000 gold lead, I would have to think, by the end of this one. We'll see if those towers give it to us. It'll be just shy, but it won't matter. 27 minutes into the game, Imkoi slam game number 1. That seems much more realistic, but no!
Yes!
Okay, never mind. We are getting Jojo Pune Kassadin into Poby Vic. It's just going to be, it's Earth mode Kassadin, right?
Yeah.
Like this could be a problem if Fnatic allows it to go late, but immediate flash stun into the wall coming out from Mickey. Alvaro down to 50 HP. He's gonna die. It's first blood to Fnatic at 1 minute and 45 seconds into the game. Mickey X.
Like a lot of windows of opportunity to be aggressive in the early stage, and that's why I like Razork's pathing here. He's gonna sneak into the backline. Supa already low, and Razork's here.
Supa at 200 HP. He has Hot Cocoa behind him, but it's not very well charged. Supa down to 100, flashes away, but Razork with a flash follow. Razork gets the second kill of the game for Fnatic. Dagda
really starts to interact with the lanes. Doesn't have great setup anywhere if he tries to interact, and Alvaro actually.
Yeah, Alvaro is going to find a level 4
He's no
Razork
flash.
waiting on him. This Bard is level 2. It is very difficult to deal with a Jarvan as a level 2 Bard. And under the turret goes Razork, back to the fountain, goes Alvaro. Fnatic claim the feat of warfare, not even 5 minutes into the game. They are 2,000 gold ahead of Imkoi.
And looking very impressive
Control
doing it.
over the bottom lane, upset level 5, just gonna rotate over and help Razork take this thing down. You can see there when Plasma procs, it procs for about 500 damage. It does quite a lot to the neutral objectives. And so then that leaves Razork the opportunity to just finish off the smite, take the Drake. That was not even a full minute after the Drake spawn. That's the Mountain Drake, that's the tanky one, and it already belongs to Fnatic.
Yeah, and again, they kind of just get to keep
First
up.
grub, Elyoya wants to step in. Imkoi's goal here seems to grab at least one grub here. They do so with Elyoya's smite, but now they're trying to get back away. Alvaro wants to flash in the magical journey. The Cataclysm wall was on top of the normal wall, so he could still get away with it. Fnatic now trying to get back as Elyoya goes in for the Cyclone, but he only finds the knock-up onto Oscar. Now Razork's going to be the next target, and Supa's on the board. Imkoi, they steal away one of the grubs. The third grub is still alive, and they get the kill afterwards, despite their disadvantages in the game so far. Imkoi find a decent play there, but now Elyoya's in some danger. Tries to jump back in on Oscar, but Elyoya sticking around a little bit greedy with that positioning, and Fnatic get a punish.
To get away from that Cyclone there on the top side, but that is something where Oscar in the past has got caught out on those plays. So having that flash keeps him safe, means that Fnatic can get the Dragon. And at the moment, there's no real response, but there are several members of Imkoi here.
Okay, let's see if Imkoi can get something else done. They are bringing up Alvaro to maybe Tempered Fate the turret, but nice use of the equalizer. Feel like you've got good ground to stand on.
But again, that has been the Fnatic game plan for not only their series against Imkoi, but a lot of the split is get upset ahead, let him be that main carry. And again, that focus has paid dividends for them now, as Supa and Alvaro always love to play aggressive on that bottom side, but sometimes it can come back to bite them.
So looking at EXP right now, we are approaching a pretty critical break point. Jojo about to hit level 11. Alvaro has the stun into the follow-up Cosmic Binding. Now Poby dropping the Arcane Storm, trying to get away. And again, they push the wave down here in the bottom lane. Oscar looked like he was thinking about maybe moving up towards the Herald. Instead, realizes he won't be able to reach the objective in time. So just goes back down to split push instead. Herald is secured by the side of Imkoi. Mickey was charging the Keeper's Verdict there, thinking about maybe if there's an opportunity to try to allow Razork to go in and
in response to try to set up for Dragon.
Okay, Herald summoned as the Dragon spawns. The Herald, they're trying to get the charge on it. Looks like that's all you're going to get, but now the fight has already broken out. Poby taking a little bit of damage here as Tempered Fate catches out the Fnatic mid laner, but a nice Keeper's Verdict to knock Jojo away from the fight means there's not enough follow-up damage. Equalizer down on a Supa follow-up there from Razork. Killer Instinct jumps in, and Supa's already down. Oscar Rinnan's cooking Mirwin. Alvaro's already dead to the Acathian Rain, and when it rains, it pours. Fnatic are bringing it down on Imkoi. A double kill. Back to upset, and it's an absolute slaughter for Fnatic.
Fnatic aren't done yet. Rolling in Fnatic's favor.
They are going to roll over the fight. They can then immediately translate that into taking the Dragon. They take the tier 1 turret mid. They take the tier 1 turret bot. They have the wave shoved into the tier 1 turret top.
Now Fnatic going to be looking down the barrel of that Infernal Soul plus position now to take this top lane tower. So much gold has been injected.
Side with the rest of Fnatic. He'll be the one that could be the bait in the top lane. Otacon alive now as we crest the 20-minute mark into the game. And it looks like Fnatic are ready to just start it up. Imkoi hanging out nearby. Jojo and Upset, the only two from either side that aren't here just yet. Upset going to join up with the rest of the team now, as Jojo is still making his way over. The Otacon is dying pretty quickly. Scryer Trinket going to find Fnatic there, but the Otacon's already going to be secured. Keeper's Verdict knocks the enemy jungler out of the fight, and Imkoi took too long standing around watching the Otacon get taken. Mirwin's already down. Razor traps everybody in the Cataclysm.
Alvaro.
Tempered Fate to try to slow up the follow-up, but it ain't going to matter. I would have to think. Elyoya is spinning, but Imkoi ain't winning. Fnatic, they're going to find a kill on the enemy jungler next. They got the Otacon. They got a 2-for-1 trade after. They're chasing after Imkoi. I don't think they're going to find
stepping in early to this river, hoping to push Fnatic back.
Okay, slam into the wall, comes out, equalizer over the top. Elyoya going to be targeted here as soon as he gets out of the stasis. Probably going to try to spin. Redemption comes in, looking to heal him, but it's Upset into the back line here with the Killer Instinct. Super trying to get away. Razork for the chase. Elyoya first to die. Razork might get traded, but no! Jojo has no damage. He's dead now as well. The Arcane Storm is half as big as the enemy jungle, and Fnatic get 4 for nothing.
That is exactly what Fnatic needed. They wipe the fight. They will take the soul. And after they've taken the life of Imkoi, they might just take this game as well.
Not sure what Imkoi does.
Yeah, if that isn't a MasterCard priceless moment right there, I don't know what it is, with the soul and everything taken.
Chance for Imkoi to try to come back into this game. There it is, Jojo Pune level 16, but the Baron is already down to half HP, and Fnatic still commands a 9,000 lead with an Infernal Soul. Imkoi on the approach, Tempered Fate doesn't hit anyone. Baron at 2,000 HP, and it's already going to get secured by Fnatic. Mirwin trying to escape now. Razork still pushing forward. Poby's also got a stasis. Keep your eyes on that armband. If Imkoi try to turn, it can't be onto him, as now Mirwin wants to drag Razork forward. They're going after the Fnatic jungler. He's already dead, but he cost the Cataclysm before he died, and that means Imkoi's going with them. Upset is dominating. Supa's out of the picture. Fnatic end up getting a 2-for-1. They've got the Baron, they've got the Soul, they've got the lead, they've got their eyes on the Nexus, and that first inhibitor turret is not gonna stop them. Mid lane inhibitor about to die next, as Mirwin, Elyoya, and Jojo will try to defend. Jojo using the ultis, trying to get the stacks up, throws forward a little bit of damage, has to again ult backwards, trying to escape the gravity field. Mirwin burns down, and Upset is godlike. First Nexus turret down to half HP. Elyoya just trying to juke him, maybe make him think he's going in. Alvaro's back alive, but it's a level 10 Bard. He can't do a whole lot about this. Tempered Fate's not even available to cast. The minions continuing to fire into the turrets. Supa back alive now too, into the back line. Goes Imkoi. Jojo wants Upset, but Upset's having none of it. Imkoi, they couldn't scale in time. Fnatic ran the game from minute number 1, and even faster than they lost the first one. They'll win the second one. We're going to game 3.
And I love this rotation from Imkoi, because we were talking about the Ornn is a little bit tough to play for Fnatic into the Braum, but I think it's still incredibly strong just for providing that team fight.
This is the games that each team respectively won. It was Fnatic getting first blood in both of them, but now we've got the jungler showing up down here in the bottom side. Alvaro trying to get away, but Wind becomes lightning coming out from Elyoya. It's first blood over to Supa with the condemn into the wall on Razork. Elyoya might die, but Supa wants to get one back. He tumbles and he finds the shot, but Upset is about to grab a double kill for himself. Both AD carries now with 2 kills. Oh! Mirwin nearly solo kills Oscar as the Ornn into the Jax. Makes that volcanic rock appear. Jojo makes the entire Weaver's wall. Trundle even makes a pillar. There's a lot
to shove these waves in, and Supa approaching later.
Okay, now bottom side, Jojo gets shuffled back by Poby. No flash available on the Talia. Remember, that already had to be used last time. Poby gets some good damage under the Imkoi mid laner, but Jojo continues looking to make his exit. Poby with a flash forward. Fetal Warfare claimed by Fnatic. Poby with the solo kill down in the bottom lane as Oscar Renan survives with 200 HP up here on the top side. Imkoi's not going to get anything back here just yet. Oscar Renan down very low, and he's executed by the ultimate of Elyoya. The counter-strike he was hoping would be able to keep him alive there, but Xin Zhao ulti with just enough burst damage. Strongest single item power spikes in the game. He has his item fully completed. Razork does not. All of these Trinity Force builders are at pieces of their Trinity, and now Mirwin's got to try to get away as Oscar and Razork want to make the move on the Imkoi top laner, but they don't have the damage.
Razork goes to just not quite in range to get that pillar down to stop the charge away from Mirwin, so it means that Razork's not able to get in position. I don't think they want to...
Good sidestep though. Not getting tagged by the Winter's Bite means he doesn't have to use the crash down defensively over the wall to make sure that he stays safe. Shattering Strike does not hit. Alvaro now could be in a little bit of danger, but the Glacial Fissure right back onto Mickey. He's the target. Elyoya goes in, and Jojo Pune secures the kill. Now Razork flashes over the wall, trying to stay alive. Upset, stunned back by the Condemn. Supa's on the chase. Elyoya wants to hit him, but the wind becomes lightning, and Supa flashes forward. Upset's out of there, and Supa just goes in on him.
Supa forcing the duel versus Upset and almost catches him off guard. I think Upset was expecting Supa to chase down. Oh wait, Razork caught as well?
Yeah, Razork stepped a little bit too far forward. He seismic shoved back into the unraveled earth, just disrespecting Imkoy's control over the area. And Razork is punished. Enemy jungler dead. Here's your blank check for Dragon Money. Nothing to it there for Imkoy. As Mickey's back, he's looking around. He's trying to find some. No, Patience isn't ticking down quite yet. He's at the very edge of his Patience, Dagda, as Mickey continues to take a little bit more damage. Supa finally arrives. Dragon's finally going to lose some Patience there, but ultimately...
Having Elyoya to back him up as well means he should be fine, but with Rift Herald here,
oh, nice pillar coming out from Razork. Immediately pops the Subjugate as well. Supa is the target, and Fnatic needs a little bit more damage to secure the kill. Mickey wants to go for the Magnet Storm, but Mickey dying gives triumph over to Supa. There's no way for the Trundle damage to get the kill, plus Blade of the Ruined King with a lifesteal.
Dying at unopportune times that are causing these issues. We get Oscarinin before the Void Grub's dying. Now we're getting the kill onto Mickey just as the Rift Herald spawns, and Oscarinin might fall afterwards.
Oscar trying to get away from this one. Elyoya and Jojo moving together. Nice placement there on the seismic shove. Counter-Strike trying to turn it around a little bit, but there's nothing to turn around in a 2v1 when Talia hits her CC. It's another free kill over to Imkoy. Razork will at least steal the red buff away, but a red buff traded for a kill, now going to be traded for a tier 1 turret. That's not enough.
And I don't know if Oscarin's allergic to his flash button this game, but kind of needs to start using that a little bit more. As Fnatic now on the bottom side.
Fnatic's on the bottom side. They're trying to secure this first turret. They want to try to win the Feats of Warfare with this. However, the Herald was already used on the top side, and the Feats are going to go over to Imkoy. Now they're still trying to beat the turret down in enough time to take the fight. Poby summons up the Sun Disc, but Alvaro and Miro just gives him enough HP to survive. Supa lives, and those are just the heartbreakers. Everybody who's ever played League has had one of those before, but now Imkoy potentially going for an invade. Fnatic maybe with a collapse, but no, it's Jojo riding the wall straight in. It's Oscar dead first. Mickey wants to get away, but the Weaver's wall fades, and Mickey just barely has enough distance to get it out of that one, but it's a 4,500 gold lead for Imkoy. They want to make it 5 and take down this tier 1 turret. They've got the wave, they've got the man advantage. Here comes True Shot Barrage. Real nice damage onto 3 with that one, but still the pressure keeps coming in as Razork's going to be careful. Seismic shove again. He's getting juggled around by the Glacial Fissure. One more hit will kill him, but he stays alive with the Subjugate for now. Mirwin bowls him over with the Orn Horn, and Imkoy have 10 kills.
Imkoy played that so well around Poby's range. Poby TP'd in and was dying to get that knockback with the Emperor's Divide, but he's not giving it, and now he's pushing forward.
And we got a TP coming in. Mickey wanted to step forward to make something happen, but now he's going to be in some danger. Jojo takes the kill, but Elyoya is going to be very low. Finally a shutdown, finally a kill, back to Fnatic. Upset's taking the credit, and Oscar gets another shutdown, this time on a Jojo. Supa and Alvaro trying to disengage. Fnatic gets something back, and at least 5k, now down to 3.5, but it is still a very large advantage for Imkoy, who will collect their second Drake of the game.
This is a bit of a mistake from Fnatic, though. They're not actually going for the third trade on the top side. They're sending Poby back, and it means that Imkoy get the dragon. There's no real trade, and they won't be able to protect this bot side turret either. Fnatic failing on the cross map, failing in the fights, and might just fail.
Is much larger. They're going to be entering into the territory where they're counting on an Imkoy mistake. The lead will be too big to simply make a good play of their own and get back into the game.
Well, the problem is at this stage, there's so many threats on Imkoy as Mirren finds Mickey.
And Mickey's going to step forward, goes in for the Magnet Storm, but he hasn't found Supa here just yet. Supa going back over the wall as Oscar Vinen's going to get stunned up, blown up, shot down. He's out. Fnatic lose their top laner as Imkoy make sure they win this team fight. They're the ones in charge. Mirwin's in the enemy jungle, just Ornn 1v9 raid boss status. Looks like the enemy team might have the gear score they need to take him out though, so a flash away defensively. Rest of the team on Imkoy going down to the Otacon pit.
Oh, it's phase 2.
Has joined back up. Mickey's got to be careful as he walks away from this one. Razork can't get anywhere near it, and Otacon 800, 900 gold each, so you can just go ahead and add 1,600, 1,800 extra gold to the already 4,800 gold lead. as Mickey tries to escape. And Alvaro and Supa have arrived. That Rel is shot down in the air. Jojo picks up kill 3.
Yeah, at this stage, Mickey just trying to get out onto the map to see if he can do anything to catch MKOI out. But this game is already slipping very heavily in favor.
Most of the time, and it looks like here in game number 3, they're set to do it again. Fnatic moving forward, but Razork is immediately met by Alvaro and Supa. The rest of MKOI not here quite yet, but a nice horn onto 3. Mickey's gonna die before we can cast a spell. Now Razork's trying to get away, but he's exhausted. Killed by Jojo. The remaining 3 players of Fnatic try to escape, but MKOI's in hot pursuit. Sundisk at least going to buy enough time to stop the MKOI assault. But a nice opening there from MKOI. The Call of the Forge God knocking up 3. The exhaust onto Razork so he couldn't do anything. The unraveled earth right underneath of everybody. There was no way out.
MKOI are just playing this slow. They understand as long as they stay together, they're going to be in a fantastic spot. And if Fnatic can't find these picks, they're just running more and more gold into the hands of Jojo, into the hands of Supa. And now they respond 20 seconds until that next dragon is up. And MKOI cheering loud tonight if MKOI can put that nail into the coffin.
They're on Soul Point now with a 7,500 gold lead. They want a couple of more kills. They'll at least force the flash out of Razork, but the flash isn't enough. They want blood. Elyoya takes the kill. Supa firing some extra bolts towards Oscar Venom with the counter
Obi
strike.
could look to TP to try and find that pick, but they're just never going to allow it. Alvaro blocks up, upsets ultimate, and the fight begins.
All right, teleport from Mickey coming around from the side. Oscar in the middle of everybody, but immediately Poby is dead as the fight begins. Supa's under pressure, but he isn't dead yet. The rest of the team peels beautifully. Fnatic knew they had to try something, but it just wasn't enough. MKOI pick up 3 for 3. They're going to take
there, and MKOI keep their AD carry safe, and we'll ride that high towards the base.
10.3k gold. 23 flowers, 2 extra drakes, 2.5 minutes on that last drake. So even if Fnatic managed to have a miraculous defense inside their base, they've still got a lot of tasks ahead of them to have any chance coming back into this game. They are now relying on some sort of mistake from MKOI, some kind of a misplay, some kind of an overdive, because it's just so hard to play from this much of a disadvantage. Razork stepping forward, pops the ulti just to try to survive, but the damage from the Vayne is so much. Razork, one more auto attack from Supa would have killed him, and he barely hobbles away, but now that's Trundle without an ulti, trying to team fight whenever they try to defend.
And it's the towers that are going to fall. This Baron is exactly what you need for this short-range composition to take them down.
Now Poby about to get stunned up there by the concussive blows. Supa's unstoppable. Poby's down. Mickey's about to join him. It's 2 kills already over to MKOI, and Oscar's lost his counter-strike. He'll be third to die. MKOI, it might have been a longer series than they would have hoped for. That second game might have been a little rough, but here in game number 3, they're showing they've got what it takes. Nexus turret's under fire. Razork about to die. They'll stun him up and beat him down just to make a statement. MKOI will emerge victorious from the LEC Civil War. They will make their way onto the Nexus. They will add insult to injury, looking to find the last kill here onto Upset. Mickey respawns and charges out. He immediately has to charge right back away into a black and white.
Maybe that actually will give an opportunity for PSG Talon to come back. Yeah, okay, they go with the Sivir instead. So looking at PSG Talon, like good side lane control and a decent lane neutralize.
That common chicken pit ward in his jungle. Make sure that they don't have any eyes on him as those chickens spawn for the second time.
Oh, actually, great engage here.
Yeah, nice double knock-up coming out there from Trimby as Betty already had to use the barrier and the flash. Wants to get away. Morteos going forward, and it's first blood over to Brazil. VKS first on the board. But he loses a lot of minions down there in the bottom lane. But at least PSG, in the meantime, they do not let this dive succeed, and they get all 3 grubs.
And this is a bit of a gamble from VKS. Giving 3 grubs to a 1-3-1 comp always feels closer when it comes to gold, and VKS haven't really done anything with the lead.
And I always like to see champions with stacking items. Hold on, Desamas going forward. 3 talent strike, finds Garza. Cyclone looking to turn it around. A lot of damage back into VKS, but it's not quite enough. VKS now turning their attention back over onto Maple. Betty rotates up for the bottom lane. Desamas going to be in some danger, and PSG have found the kill. Low HP on Garza, but he's not dead yet. But while here in the front line, but Trimby's the target. Maple with a little bit more, but the overload does not hit. VKS won't get anybody back just yet. Trimby with a flash headbutt pulled, double seismic shove, beautiful moves coming out from the VKS support. Feet of Warfare claimed for the Brazilian squad as Miru wants another. Betty has been found in his own jungle. Miru gets him with the auto attack. Betty with a late flash. Now Aja's gonna die too. Karsa's about to die next. He flashes over the wall just to try to survive. VKS nearly aced him at 12 minutes.
VKS are playing summer. And he looks fantastic. The Talia flicks have been on point this game with the help of the setup. And if Miru and Trimby are feeling themselves like this, that's going to be a very different story for PSG Talon, who just haven't found that success in this early game.
Exactly. It was the Trimby pulverize into the unraveled earth, into the seismic shove from Miru that got those 2 kills, and then Miru riding the Weaver's wall into the back line, setting up for the additional kill onto Betty. And I feel like Betty in that last fight just got a little greedy. Looks like Trimby's getting a little bit greedy now. Does end up getting ignited here. The redemption not really going in top lane or mid lane. He will still be able to join the fight, and VKS are going to begin the Herald.
They're in a significantly stronger spot. PSG Talon ceded a lot of area of control. Karsa, though, looks like he might just be trying to sneak in to get the steal rather than take a full fight.
Yep, Karsa on the left. VKS control over the area for now. The wraparound is coming. Aja looking for his angle as Woody is already down. Morteus on a rampage. PSG wanted the pincer attack, but VKS was ready. Trimby going in again. Karsa's not fooling anybody with that clone. And now Maple's going to be your next target. Miru rides the blast cone over the wall, and Trimby's ready to keep on going. It's a beautiful 1, 2, 3 alley-oop. VKS on a killing spree again. 8-2 game. He didn't have his flash, but even if he did, you're not going to get a chance to use it. Now the Herald's been summoned up in the mid lane, used to crash the tier 1 turret. Trimby's going to drive that one right into the tier 2. It's a 3,500 gold lead for VKS, and it's about to be 4K as that tier 2 falls. This is some early and mid game thus far from VKS.
Yeah, PSG Talon stepping out, seeing if they can catch VKS if they don't sync their resets, and PSG are going.
Karsa wants the engage. Miru flashing away with the flash follow coming in from Karsa. Meanwhile, VKS with the counter attack over the wall. It's Betty and Woody looking to get away as Miru survives. Betty's first to die and Woody follows. There's no way you're killing Boal as Karsa and Aja try to escape. Karsa's very low, and another rock flies over the wall. Now Aja will be next to die with a decimating smash pulverized combo. Boal's on a rampage. 4-0 for Brazil.
PSG thought they might have caught VKS slacking, but it's VKS expecting them to go for the play, and they catch them out as now. Trimby, does he end up finding Maple?
He does. Oh, Maple gets caught here. Now, Maple has his flash to try to get away. He has Realm Warp as well. We'll see if he can try to use it, but no. He thought maybe the cooldowns weren't there, but Trimby had another pulverize. It's a delayed ace for VKS.
But it's VKS who are ready for it and catch them all out.
And one thing I noticed in that replay, it's the same.
And that's another dragon now, third of the name for VKS. Bounties available for PSG Talon 20 minutes into the game. And Atakan has only just spawned. PSG, a little nervous about that Atakan being taken. Boal gets some damage put onto him.
Yeah, but he's Scion. He does not care even a little bit. 895 stacks there through Soul Furnace. Another public execution, another miss. Aja is just not hitting this critical spell on Ambessa, and Miru smells blood in the water. Aja smells honey fruits, and those might be able to get him away. Miru still continuing to use the speed bonus on the Talia. It's a solo kill for Miru. Aja dead for the 3rd time this game. 0-3 and 0 on the Ambessa, not having the impact that PSG wants him to have, as VKS, now with their 7,000 gold lead, now with their soul point status, Miru arrives into the fight. Desamas jumping straight on in. It's going to be 2 more kills for VKS. Maple and Betty are the only 2 left alive. Betty's going to be knocked back with another beautiful seismic shove. Trimby wants another headbutt pulled. The rest of the team isn't there. Trimby's very low. Maple at least gets 1 more, but Boal wants the last little bit of damage to take out the enemy mid laner. Boal with a hammer to his rib cage shatters Maple and finds his way through the enemy base. 1 more shield should hopefully keep him alive here, you would think. Aja's back, but he has no public execution. He can't try to stop Boal. He's shoved back again by Miru, and Aja loses 2/3 HP. It's a 9,000 gold lead. It's about to be an Otacon for VKS.
Where's this Vivocade been?
Dallastar, 0-2 and 17, a part of everything but 1 kill so far in this game, going for the dive onto Aja now, and again, it's that 1-2 punch with Miru to set it up and knock it down. The only kill Trimby hasn't been a part of was Miru solo killing Aja up in the top lane back when all the fighting was going on bottom.
These aren't punches anymore, Flowers. These are haymaker after haymaker. PSG are dropping to the floor. It's a KO.
It's a bar fight, and PSG are stuck paying the tab. VKS are going to take a big swig of victory and push their way into the enemy base. That top lane inhibitor turret is already down. Inhibitor is the target, and that one will melt. Boal locking up Karsa, Maple, and Woody all on his own. Karsa with a defensive cyclone, but I don't think it's going to matter. Wind becomes lightning, and lightning strikes Karsa. Desamas takes the kill, and VKS might just be looking for the end of the game. They got super minions marching down the top lane. It's not like they can take Baron yet. He's not even on the rift for another minute and a half, so they'll turn their attention over to the mid lane inhibitor turret. That one's gonna crack. We'll see if they can take the inhibitor. There's 20 seconds on Karsa, but everybody else on PSG is alive, and
VKS are trending more towards the glorious.
It is a glorious game one for VKS indeed, as Boal jumps in behind Karsa. Miru's got plenty of damage. Woody wants the quickness, but he's quickly finding his way towards another lost team fight. Aja finally hits a public execution, but it's way too late. Betty's next to die. Boal 7 kills on the Scion leading the charge. Woody will be the final kill towards the ace. It's a triple for Morteus at the very end of the fight. 26-3. VKS will annihilate PSG in game number 1, and they are only 1 game away from moving on and staying alive. And Rumble to try to follow up here.
Okay, it's going to be the Ezreal at the end of the day. I thought they might still go for that Kai'Sa. Again, you kind of have the ability to keep yourself safe with the killer instinct.
A steal from Karsa to interrupt Desamas is clear, and now he's waiting for Desamas to just check this brush again. I love this from Karsa. Another EQ combo. Desamas down to 200 HP. He's going to take the blast cone. Karsa making sure he doesn't step so close that he gets knocked the other direction. But now Desamas has been forced out of his own jungle. But Boal has got the wave shoved up. He's going to come in after Karsa. Karsa already used EQ. Karsa's in danger. He's down to 200 HP. Even if he tries to flash, Miru is waiting. Karsa initially looking for him. He's going to drag this Gromp all the way over here, so if nothing else, he can at least complete his Gromp task. Karsa still thinking about this. Woody stepping forward, making sure that he can use his sweeper. But now Desamas has level 3 on his Pantheon. He's going to step forward. Woody nearby, though, means it's so hard for Desamas to try to do anything. He wanted to throw the spear, see if maybe he can find something else. Desamas needs to try to get away. He throws up the shield. Desamas is down. Karsa takes the kill, makes this game a 1-1.
VKS knew that this was happening. Miru had started to roam over, but he actually goes back
in this early game, invading, interrupting the Krug clear, and now Miru in a little bit of danger. It's a flash Zenith Blade from Woody, dodged by the response flash from Miru, but now the immobile Annie no longer has the defensive summoner spell.
The question mark is what Karsa wants to do, because he knows that this Pantheon's going to immediately move towards the Scuttle Crab. Miru should be able to step away.
Okay, Miru, 200 HP, making a little bit more distance on this one. Did not have a stun ready and charged. Desamas continuing to retreat back in his own jungle, because guess who's back, Dagda? It's Karsa again. Has to one combo and try to double brittle proc, really make life miserable on this Rumble.
It doesn't quite end up hitting it, but it still delays Aja on the reset, which is honestly a bit of a win here for Boal. He's got the, oh, hang on.
Yeah, Desamas in the mid lane. Tibbers has already been summoned. Maple's in some serious danger. He goes between worlds and he gets away. Maple, he flashes just to try to make sure he gets away from the Comet Spear. He would have lived anyway, but a bit of a panic there at the very end. Did not want to get caught out. The Dragon down to 400 HP, and now Trimby stepping in. Crash down, dodged by Betty there with a flash of his own. Morteus continues firing here with the Mystic shots. Trimby still looking to see if maybe he can get a little bit more lockup onto Woody, who wants to get away. Trimby with a shattering strike. Woody's about to die. Morteus takes the kill, and Desamas gets away. VKS get a kill, but PSG take the Drake.
It's a good start for PSG Talon, but VKS are coming alive. Boal needs to escape, but can he?
Yeah, he's Alcove gaming right now. Aja trying to make sure he doesn't overheat all the way. This is looking a little bit silly, but Aja is winning. He overheats, steps back into the alcove. Boal again, just trying to create some distance. This is Ornn Gaming right now as Aja continues trying to burn him down, but Bawal just taunts
As we
him.
get the TP from Trimby, they're looking for Aja. He has no flash.
He has no flash, but there's not a lot of damage between Rel and Ornn. We'll see if there is enough. There's the Bellows Breath, but no. Aja sidesteps the knockup instead, ready to back him up. Maple so thankful to have got out of that gank in mid lane earlier as well, but he does not have his ulti. He does not have his flash. The Aurora is very vulnerable. Aja has now teleported back out onto the map after his recall to join up with the rest of the team. The Grubs are alive, and that's going to be PSG's goal.
Yeah, I think at this stage, VKS are kind of shown they're happy to be patient. They don't want to try and overextend and contest PSG as they move in towards these objectives, even though they have... Oh, hang on. Do they want to try? No, Trimby just going to kick them to the curb.
Yeah.
But it's just, yeah, even when you don't have, like, Maple's ultimate was up quite at the right time, but also because Desamas is that level down, thanks to how aggressive PSG talent have been in his jungle, it does make them a little bit more scared.
Well, now Desamas does have the Grand Starfall, and this is kind of the great equalizer if you fall behind early.
No, that's Rumble.
Yeah, okay, my bad. My bad, buddy. Well, we've got the great leveler outer of game state for Pantheon here, since he can try to use this to set up a play, get a numbers advantage when you wouldn't think you'd have one, and try to get some sort of edge. As now the engage comes out from Trimby, Desamas and Miru ready to follow it up. Maple staying alive for now. Morteus needs a little bit of damage. He trades 1-for-1 with Maple. Trimby's gonna get cooked up by Aja. Feat of Warfare claimed by VKS, but Trimby's about to die. Aja needs a little bit more damage, and he finds it. Now Miru's the one under pressure. Ornhorn summoned up by Bawal. Aja in the back part of the pit, and he's gonna drop now too. VKS. They deny 3 Grubs. They end up having a bloodbath, 2-for-2 in the fight.
It is a messy...
Has their first item fully done, so Karsa's in a great spot to be able to lead the charge and continue playing aggressively. Trimby with a crash down, buffers through the Zenith Blade. Now defensive Magnet Storm having to flash away, but he's trapped inside the Cataclysm. Trimby's down. Nice pick, PSG.
Desamas and PSG been able to fall back towards strong team fighting and pick orientated plays.
Okay, Desamas is hanging around nearby, so is Morteus. Miru also around the area. Here comes Bawal. It's the Ornhorn. Karsa's in a little bit of danger, and so is Woody. Now Miru's found Maple off to the side. The Drake is stolen away by Desamas. Bawal's in the pit with everybody. Betty's going to be the target, but over the wall goes Bawal, and now Woody's ready to follow. Bawal is next to die. Betty low, but safe for now. Aja's cooking everybody, and Morteus is down. PSG find exactly what they wanted, and VKS find themselves staring down the barrel of a 2,000 gold deficit.
PSG are bloody and bruised, but they are walking, and that's all they need to do actually is, hang on, Desamas
jumps in, but that Grand Starfall is not where he wanted to place it. He's about to die to Leandries, just barely survives, 24 HP.
That was a play, and they can finish them off.
And the 2 flashes right there at the very start from Karsa, from Betty, to not die to the Ornhorn were huge. Now Karsa invading yet again. Redemption keeping him alive. Trimby and Desamas have Morteus coming in to help him. But remember, PSG have a 2,500 gold lead. They're just working with a lot more firepower, and they can't get any kills back.
Karsa barely got over with the flag and drag before Trim
is highly vulnerable to these piercing arrows, and if you can get some good poke from Betty on this champion that he has so many games on before these fights, it's impossible for VKS to play it out.
Yeah, Trimby poking his nose in here towards the Rift Herald, but I don't think you really get to do what you want here. More just window shopping at what he wishes he could have as the rest of VKS start to move down towards his bottom side. Aja reading that well, moving up towards the mid, making sure that he's not going to get dove anytime soon.
Yeah, Trimby's not got a whole lot that he can really...
Yeah, that's generally where the thought process would lie. Is they want to pick Maple, though.
Yeah, they're going in after him. He wants to go between worlds, but immediately the crash down with the shield is ready to lock him up. He's surviving for a very long time, but the Comet Spear finds his back, and which he restarts on a ward.
They needed to match the reset from Trimby, who'd gone back for the wards, but topside plays.
Oh yeah, they're just going to make the move onto Aja instead. They even sent the True Shot Barrage over the top. They wanted to make sure he was dead.
Great equalizer from Aja, though, because it may have prevented that top lane turret from going down. Betty
Okay, Betty under pressure, but he's still fine for now. Trimby only slowed by the solar flare. Heals back up with the redemption. They are trying to protect that tower, like you say. Apply the pressure as Miru puts the damage into the tier 1 turret up there in the top lane. And VKS don't want to give away soul point for free, because now you're in a really bad situation for the rest of the game. But a TP's coming in. PSG could be in a little bit of danger here. At least Woody could, as Boal jumps in, slams his head straight into the wall, slams Woody straight into the grave. VKS picking up a kill.
I think it's Otacon that VKS are interested in. They'll trade the top tower for
the Otacon. Woody is going to respawn here in about 3 seconds. VKS DPSing this objective as the Herald is summoned up here in the mid lane. The charge will not kill the turret on its own, but the auto attacks to follow up will. PSG on the approach. Woody does not have a teleport to try to join up here. Aj is going to be your target. They want to full send it. They kill him before the redemption comes in. VKS take out the enemy top laner. They got a 5v3 for now, but remember that Woody is on the way. 5v4 yet again. The 4 are just different this time. Otacon resetting. VKS backing away.
You got the TP coming through from Aj. Like every single time, it's VKS starting the fight to find a pick, and then they run like all hell away. Make sure you can't do anything about it. Like, point in case.
There it is, another grand starfall with Boal tanking the turret. Aj is going to be in some danger, and Desamas kills him before I finish my sentence.
Every time.
It's pretty tough. Last time I checked, the abilities do not cast when one is dead, and this Otacon is not dying particularly fast.
Trimby snuck his way into the bush, though. This could be a massive engage from the VKS support. PSG, they want to try and contest.
They're going to step forward. Betty's your target. Crashdown only finds Woody. They want to full send it. Woody's not dead here just yet, but they're going to find a lot of damage onto Maple. Karsa into the back line. Miru's already down. It's a massive play coming out from PSG. They found 2. VKS overplay their hand. And it's PSG with a huge punish, and they're set up to maybe take the Otacon now. The redemption's gonna top off the health bars. PSG are right back in it.
Finally, PSG find the team fight that they needed, but still VKS, they aren't done yet. They're gonna try and turn onto Aja.
Okay, Aja takes a big chunk of damage, but really, it's not enough. Boal, Morteus, and Desamas trying to do everything they can to fight for this Otacon. Trimby's engage. Botched ends up being the big change in this game. For all that we praised him in the previous game, the Thornbound Otacon has found its way into PSG's pockets, and the Rel pincer attack, the blunder, going too early after Betty. PSG see their moment, they punish, and they're right back in the driver's seat.
Trimby had the unsealed spellbook smite and was hoping to once more take control of this game.
Beautifully turned around on Trimby's face after everything happened in that fight. Now VKS looking for another one. They're going to go in on Karsa. They take him low, but they won't take him down. True shot barrage over the top. Karsa still alive. Aja still alive. Trimby down first. Now it's turning around yet again. Miru flashing away, looking to escape from Betty, as Maple's now going to be your next target, and he is gone. Desamas in the back line, staying alive for now, but Karsa barely hangs on too. It's 2 dead on the side of VKS, but VKS still chasing. PSG, they come out on top, +1.
I saw the potential for that arcane shift and thought Morteus might have had it, but PSG Talon
getting crazy, Dagda. It's 14-10. It's soul point though for PSG with a 4,000 gold lead. Woody, honestly, not too afraid of this. Comet Spear's coming in though. Betty and Karsa right next to their support. TP about to arrive for VKS. Battle lines are a tool, considering he has been the primary target for VKS the entire game.
Here's your loads, just to check the Baron. That side of the map looking very, very dark for VKS, and Boal might be getting lights out here as well. As the engage comes through, Redemption tries to keep him alive.
Yep, they're just going to take down the Ornn. For as tanky as he was earlier, the damage between Aja and Karsa is so much. You've got Guardian Angel on Karsa now as well. With Bloodletter's Curse on Aja, it's so easy to burn through that magic resistance, The dive comes through. Desamas under pressure, Miru under more. Aja takes the kill, and PSG have taken both enemy solo laners off the table.
It's so well coordinated. Lockdown Miru, who was flashlit.
And you look at a mid game that was going all the way in VKS's favor up until the fateful Otacon fight, and that's really where everything just completely shattered. All right, this is it. VKS probably has about one more chance here. Tibbers, I mean, it's dropped on Karsa and Woody, but what does that do? There's nobody else nearby, nobody in the neighborhood to follow up. Karsa full sends it. He knows he's got Guardian Angel. It doesn't matter if he dies. Miru and Morteus both just burning away. Betty dominating on that Varus as Boal goes in. Rams is headed to nothing. DeSamas and Morteus firing back here a little bit as Maple tries to put the pressure onto the Ezreal. He can't quite kill him here just yet. Morteus firing off the Mystic shots, but PSG have killed everybody else, and Baron will be their prize.
It's the missing shots from VKS as Maple fishes for
Karsa the opportunity to jump in there full crazy.
We've seen Annie fall apart where if you just don't get these leads, it's just not working out for you. And unfortunately, with the way things have gone, VKS did find some picks to get back into the game, but it just hasn't been enough. And PSG Talon, with this Baron, starting to siege on towards the inhibitor turrets.
10,000 gold lead, Dragon Soul, Baron. This should be just about everything they need. It's one final attempt coming out from VKS. Betty's low, but low's not good enough because the counterattack from PSG arrives. It's Maple grabbing the first kill. DeSamas trapped behind enemy lines. Miru's already down here too as Morteus tries to escape, but Maple's just throwing out twofold hexes. He's already got himself a double kill. PSG have cleared 4 of them off the rift, and they don't lose a single man.
And now with that minion wave starting to conga line its way in, PSG gonna try and push us now to 1-1.
It looks like we are going the full distance for both series here today, Dagda. PSG, not to be caught unaware, not to go down without a fight, will slam back here in game number 2. They will take out VKS and have one more shot to stay alive.
Any sort of follow-up PSG Talon had to engage. So it looks like Betty going to be able to peel for himself and avoid any sort of mishap from either the Tempered Fate or that Darkness early stages. But DeSamas hovering barely out of vision. This is so good from DeSamas.
DeSamas is going to Karsa. He throws out the Duskbringer, immediately finds the dog. He's hungry for a little bit of a hot dog lunch. Karsa flashes away. DeSamas, Duskbringer first blood level 1.
Topside, as DeSamas going to reignite his red buff here as he finishes out his own.
Karsa is going to see exactly what's going on, and he wants a little bit of revenge. DeSamas wisely dropping his ward inside that brush, wants to make sure that Karsa can't play around this, as immediately the fear already connects. Trimby coming up to try to help DeSamas. Karsa is low, DeSamas is lower. Trimby trying to get the kill there. They finally take out Karsa, but now it's going to be a bloodbath, and it's VKS in trouble. Betty's still getting away. Miru needs one more hit. He gets it. The feat of warfare secured by PSG by a split second, and it's a 4-3 game, 4 minutes into the game.
PSG
red buff, and now Karsa is wrapping around to look for a gank here in the bottom lane. Woody stepping forward, heal coming out from the VKS support as they back away. Karsa level 5 here on the Fury. Pretty scary stuff. That control ward's gonna get cleared out by DeSamas, but there's no more fight to be had. Getting a couple early kills is just that much stronger than even it would normally be.
It really is, and it just sets you up so nicely. But Karsa now just hit level 6 as he got into the pit, so that Maple Karsa combo could start to come alive if VKS end up overextending just a little bit. Don't have the Poppy in position to try and block that combo from PSG Talon.
Exactly. Neither one of the top laners has their teleport available to try to join this fight. DeSamas wants to step forward and at least try to smite one of the grubs away. He will get the single one. Paranoia has already been cast. Miru tries to move forward, but the Feather Storm already flies out. Void grubs overall secure by the side of PSG. DeSamas wants to jump in, but Betty's going to stay safe. The barrier isn't even needed as Miru's the next target here for Karsa. He keeps himself invulnerable for an extra second and jumps back over the wall. Now Boal's going to be your next target. He has to flash away. PSG, they come out +1 grub, +1 kill. If VKS has anything to say about it, PSG going to secure their second objective of the game.
And as you already said, Maple is so accelerated in this game. The early run of it
at Otacon, which is where we see so many bloodbaths, so many throws, and Miru now pulled back by the shockwave, having to use the ulti defensively to get himself away. And with Woody's help, Maple just continues finding himself in great positions in this game. Karsa wants to jump in with the ulti, but Trimby's here to try to protect Miru. PSG, they have more men in the area, but it's not going to stay that way for long. Maple caught up here in the Tempered Fate. Miru looking for a little bit more. Boal has joined, and so is Morteus. It's everybody from VKS. Maple's already down, and it looks like VKS wants a little bit more. Keeper's verdict, knocking one away. Aja needs some damage back, and he goes all out to find Miru. Betty Still safe for now. Karsa trapped in the pit, but can just jump right over pretty easily. Mortea's still chasing. Maybe an Arc of Ruin. No, nothing more to find. It's a 2-for-1 for VKS.
At least
about 2.5 minutes till both the Rift Herald and the second Drake spawn. Whenever those timers are synced up, it does make things a little bit interesting as Betty's forced to use the Featherstorm there. The exhaust from the Summoner Spellbook from Trimby, putting the pressure on the enemy AD carry. But now PSG's coming around from the side. Trimby's gonna pay the price. Taken low, taken out. Nice moves coming in from PSG, but Miru wants one back. He's exhausted, but Karsa chases him too far, and it's a 1-for-1 trade.
VKS are responding well to the PSG plays, but still, they're getting these kills
He can
back.
knock out multiple players from PSG, turn a fight into a 3v5. Then you got some serious danger. Desamas just flies in like a ballistic missile to take out Betty, who still had half cooldown remaining on his Featherstorm. Morteas with the Arc of Ruin to slow down Karsa. The Tempered Fate to lock him up further, but they don't have enough damage. He gets away with the Blast Cone for now, and Morteas hits him with a couple more orbs to take him out.
It may not be the end of it though. Aja is desperately trying to fight for this wave to keep it away from the tower, but Boal is slowly encroaching, and so is the rest of VKS.
And it's so hard to kill Boal, even though it looks like he's low, because he has Sundered Sky. The amount of healing you get from this item is really, really powerful, and so Boal feels encouraged to continue moving forward. Steadfast Presence stops Cassante from moving forward, and that just absolutely massive. The active part of this item is so helpful for securing your paranoia kills, and Morteas just gets obliterated. Nice pick from PSG.
That was
Stacking those objectives. However, that also means they're going to secure themselves the boots. They've already got 2 neutrals. That'll be their second level of the ulti.
Yeah, VKS also aware the PSG are down here because they saw the Krugs being started by Karsa. So still hovering to make sure that Miru will be safe and can freeze his wave so no extra pressure can come towards him.
All right, Maple just continuing the shove out there. Desamas wants to jump in, but the problem is it's 2v3 right now. Miru continuing to jump forward, and Maple is down. Woody and Karsa now trying to get away. Miru's got to be careful to not be stunned up underneath the turret. Karsa still running. Morteas from the side, jumps in point-blank range for the Arc of Ruin. And Karsa, he flashes too late. He's already down. Trimby goes forward, but they don't even need the stun. It's a double kill for Morteas. The Yunara shows him what he's got.
The VKS playbook of playing pick after pick after pick is still alive in this game number 3 and get him a little bit of extra gold. Miru can be so strong, but even taking this mid lane structure could be fantastic. Morteas taking the... Oh, hang on.
Wow, yeah,
Miru's on the way.
Tempered Fate and everything. Miru's making his way over. Here's Paranoia. It's Desamas, level 11 with the extra range of the Nocturne. Flying in, 2 already dead on the PSG side. Betty flashes away. Miru's in the smoke. Another 5-point strike to try to whittle Betty away. They will not get the kill. Desamas decided it's not worth it for the Herald. I don't care.
Region, but here, VKS fighting back. 4.5k gold lead and take them down. And once more, they're opening up on this mid wave. They have the Rift Herald, but they don't need to use it here. PSG Talon are just spread thin.
Yeah, even though the grubs did overall go to PSG, you've still got the 1 grub for that extra little bit moving through the enemy jungle. He's setting himself up on the flank. Maple's about to face check into the Akali, but no, he throws the ball in instead. The lights are going off. Desamas is going in. The feathers have already flown, and now it's a little bit of danger for Desamas, but Miru jumps into the back line. Karsa trying to get away, but a nice Tempered Fate there onto the enemy support. Woody is locked up, and Karsa's already down. It's 2 kills for nothing for VKS. Aja gonna be your next target here. Cassante is tanky, but he's not tanky enough. They'll slam him back into the wall. They'll knock him down. Miru's on a rampage, and VKS just murdered 3 of them.
Desamas is the feint, while Miru is the hook that's following up behind it. Trimby manages to catch Betty.
Betty's down. Beautifully done from VKS. Every time Desamas uses his ultimate, Betty immediately featherstorms defensively to not get caught out. But that just means that as long as VKS can find that follow-up punch you're talking about, the Xayah is a sitting duck.
It's the dragon taken for VKS. And so much more in that fight. The gold firmly in their favor, control in their favor, but PSG, they're TPing in. They want to try and catch VKS before they can reset, but they're too little. It's too late.
This is desperation. There's not any time to
When that
possibly...
ultimate is available, who can shift over towards this top side. And Miru is just sitting in the back line waiting for the engage.
Exactly. Miru is always on the pincer. VKS want to try to take down this tier 1 turret before they really try to force anything hard. There's immediately your Tempered Faithfulness Keeper's verdict. Now they're diving in on the carries. They're both dead. Maple and Betty are out of the picture. And Miru's still hungry for more. Karsa, Woody, and Aja all have to scatter as the carries get assassinated. Perfectly coordinated there. Keeper's verdict takes out the supportive roster. Tempered Fate locks up the turret so they can make the dive, and then they jump in. Maple and Betty die before there's anything they can do about it.
VKS just kicked in the front door and said, do you really think you're safe here? The golden key to take them down. The fights have been going so well for VKS. He's now just opting to turn that needlessly large rod into a Rabadon's death cap instead because he never had to burn that safety tool. But Tasamas might need to get out of here. Very quickly escapes.
A little bit of a hard time here with a couple of auto attacks, but now backing towards the safety of his own tier 1 turret. Stun onto Karsa. Boal going to be your target here from Betty and the rest of PSG. Keeper's verdict wants to knock somebody away, but he's stunned up into the wall instead. Desamas already exhausted. Nice blade caller there. Forces the flash of the VKS jungler. Desamas is down. PSG, they've locked up Miru. They force him into the stasis. The Akali's in danger, but he jumps back away with a shuriken flip. PSG have found 1 kill and nearly a second. Miru is still on the run. Betty has no summoners to try to chase. Maple's got his flash, but Miru is still running. Karsa over the wall. He wants to try to catch this enemy mid laner. This could be the opportunity PSG needs to come back into the game. Trimby buying time. Magical journey over the wall. Morteus firing out the Arc of Triumph. Now Trimby flashes. Stays alive for now. Keeper's verdict channeled again. Morteus just firing back into the PSG lines. Miru jumps in, and now Betty's in danger. He goes for the Feather Storm, but VKS turn it right back around. Miru finally dies. Maple's getting away now. Aja with a nice third and Tofo strike, putting the pressure onto Trimby, who gets away through the Otacon wall. Now Boal scrapping with Aja back and forth. Maple barely standing. Desamas has respawned. By the time he gets close to the fight, he'll have the paranoia.
I think though VKS just want to try and get away from this. They ended up group for VKS though, which makes these assassins much more durable as they jump into the
PSG side. Boal going to go ahead and take a recall as VKS start up the Baron. TP coming in from Boal to join up with everybody else. Keep your eyes on the Keeper's verdict. Depending on who he knocks away, that could be absolutely massive. Baron already down to half HP. Miru Shuriken flipping away, does not want to jump back in onto Aja. Boal and Desamas, the two doing the damage onto the Baron right now. PSG on the approach. Aja jumps forward. Nice little lock up there with the Tempered Fate onto Karsa, but it already wears off. Baron down to 6K. VKS back away from the objective. PSG restarted at about half HP. The Scryer's Bloom is going to see them.
This is what PSG want though, the front to back fight, and VKS know it. PSG feeling that this might be their moment to push me. They don't have what it needs to carry this through. It is an 8K gold lead, but we are fast approaching full items.
And now immediately Desamas jumps in after Karsa. The fear has already been applied and the dog is in danger. Trimby takes him out. Betty's your next target. Featherstorm already used and Miru is rooted up. He uses the second half of the ulti to get away, but it's a massive shockwave coming in from Maple. Aja jumps forward into the front line, but he's taking a ton of damage. Glacial Fissure to try to protect the escape route. As more damage pours into Aja's health bar, but he goes all out onto Boal. Aja looking to make his escape. A little bit more damage from the top laner is not going to be enough here just yet. VKS, they kill the enemy jungler. Boal has to flash to try to get away. Another slam into the ground here with the Q. Boal is in danger. Where's the backup from VKS? PSG fighting for their lives. Boal stays alive. Aja and Woody about to die outside of the base. And Maple is the only man standing. VKS, they ace them.
VKS have done it. VKS have found their moment with that magical journey into the base. It might be a magical moment to keep their dreams alive at Worlds 25.
Karsa, the only man standing. He's the one who died first. He has to try to defend here. He jumps in to find a single kill, but he will now drop. The Guardian Angel is the only thing to fall for Desamas. Nobody else is alive on PSG. This is Brazil! And VKS stay alive and work.